Hi, and welcome to the Scruffy Nerd Herder. I'm John,
I'm Patrick.
and this is Yesterday,
Today,
and Tomorrow. The format of the show works as such. We have three different segments. Yesterday, we talk about nostalgia and other things that we love from the past. Today, we talk about new comics this week and other things happening right now in the world, really in relation to nerd news. And then tomorrow, we're talking about news for upcoming events and just speculation in general and fan theories. So today, we're going to start off with yesterday. And we're going to talk about our comic books that got us into comics. So, Pat, what was the comic book that got you into comics?
have to say, it's probably, it didn't even have a cover. It started off with the original Alan Scott Green Lantern. It was kind of
like a Justice Society?
Yeah, Justice Society, very golden age, very folksy. I don't remember too much what happened in it. That's when I realized when the Green Lantern's weak against wood, which is the greatest weakness.
And those good old campy weaknesses from back in the day?
Yeah, and I think what really kind of started a fire under me probably in my teenage years when I started reading Young Justice.
Young Justice. Nice. For me, my aunt was living with us at the time, and she used to be like a really big nerd and stuff like that, so she used to have all the comic books. So I finally broke into her comic book collection. I didn't really break into it, she let me read it. But I went in there and I found this old issue of Teen Titans. I think it was like Teen Titans 50, which was the wedding issue.
All right.
And I was like, wow, this is like actually like more than just, that campy superhero stuff that I thought comic books were at the time. And I really liked that. But realistically though, if you think about comic books that get me in, what I actually learned to read wasn't a Marvel or DC superhero story. It was The Adventures of Tintin by I can't remember his name right now, but he wrote these series of books about this
Dutch boy,
that Tintin and his dog Snowy. And they used to solve all these mysteries and stuff, and I absolutely loved that as a kid. That's actually how I learned to read, and it kind of made me fall in love with the comic book format in general. So today we're going to talk about comic books that are coming out this week, Wednesday, August 21st. So we each picked three comic books for the week, and we're going to discuss them. So I'm going to start off. I picked for the week. I picked Tom King's Batman number 77, which is actually the second in the City of Bane storyline. I really like Tom King's run. People have mixed feelings, but I've been really feeling it since the very beginning. And I think that bringing in Thomas Wayne as a kind of like a semi-antagonist was such a strong move and kind of like really makes an interesting story. So if you haven't been reading Tom King's run, I really recommend it. He's been doing an absolutely great job with the character. I mean, of course, it's Batman. You feel like everything's been told, but Tom King's been doing a really good job approaching it. What did you pick?
I chose Hellboy, Saturn's Return. I haven't read Hellboy for a long time. I wanted to jump back into it. And one of the things I see about Saturn's Return is it does the one thing I love about Hellboy. It really brings down the mythical factors of the comic into kind of a day-to-day life. You get to see the detective work, and it was really easy to jump back into it.
For my second comic book, I chose Guardians of the Galaxy number 8. I actually haven't been reading the Guardians of the Galaxy storyline. I picked up the first couple issues because I had Cosmic Ghost Rider, and that was like really cool and stuff, but I kind of fell off after that. But this new storyline, and particularly this book itself, is a lot about Rocket. This book actually has Rocket's origin story in it, which I'm a pretty big fanboy for all origin stories. So if you're interested in Rocket's origin story, it's right here. And this is currently, they're on the road to the death of Rocket, so they say. They always, say they're going to kill all characters.
Yeah.
Who knows if they're going to do it? But they keep teasing us with the death of Rocket. And so this is...
I don't know. Superman hasn't come back yet. Too deep of a cup?
So, the road to Rocket's death, Rocket's origin, I recommend it if you're interested in that. And Pat, what did you pick for your last one?
All right, I picked Superman. It is the Black Label, the brand new label of since they got rid of.
It's the adult label since they got rid of Vertigo because they didn't feel like they didn't need that anymore with all the adult kind of content for comics, anyways. They started the Black Label to have a more mature place.
A smokier taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a refined taste. I got Superman. It is the second book. This, I was very surprised. It's a retelling of Superman as a young Marine or a young Navy SEAL. And it takes a character in a lot different place. And it's always fun to read kind of an Elseworld type story.
All right, for my last pick, I picked the new Powers of X from this week, number 3. If you haven't been following this, I recommend doing so. I am particularly not a big X fan. I don't really read X comics. I just don't. The mutant thing doesn't fill me. But these series, Powers of X and House of X, are very interesting. Highly recommend. And this one in particular, it ties in Powers of X and House of X super well and gives you a nice little twist ending at the end. Now, there's something particular I want to kind of share with you guys this week. Diamond decided they were going to throw in a secret variant. So, if you'll notice, the regular variants, you'll see the red skin and the Rasputin metal skin. The secret variant has them in their Nightcrawler skin and the normal colors. We only got one of these because it was a secret variant. I couldn't order them, and I want to do something special for our first episode of Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. I want to sell this one to the first person to come in and tell us our secret password for this video, which is
Sophia Turner.
All right. If you come in and you say Sophia Turner to us and you mention the video, we will pull this one out and you have the ability to buy it. It'll be the same price as the rest of them, but it will not be on the shelves unless you know the password. Now, the last thing we want to talk about today is the new Amazon series, The Boys. A lot of people have been watching it. I actually haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I've heard fantastic things. You've watched it, right, Pat?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And so if you don't know, The Boys is actually based off of a comic book here, written by Garth Ennis, entitled The Boys, same name. And I'll warn you first before we go any further, much like the show, it is a very dark comic book. There's a lot of really adult topics, a lot of kind of dark things that happen in it. But it's really good if you do like that stuff. And if you watch the show and you like it, I do recommend picking it up. We do have copies here at the store. So how are you feeling about the show? What is your favorite?
I like the show. I feel it's like the Game of Thrones of superhero shows right now.
All right.
Because it's filled with weird stuff.
Okay.
And I don't know about you, but I'm into that.
For sure.
And it's they change enough, so it's every time you watch it, it's a little bit more surprising than if you read the original comic.
So you read the original?
I read the original comic.
All right. Yeah, I've read the original myself. I've been waiting to watch the show. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet, but I'm really excited because everyone's saying it's really good.
It is a solid show.
So for our next segment, we're going to be talking about tomorrow, where we talk about news of nerd things that are coming out and, how excited we are. First thing we're going to talk about is this new Black Label comic for Constantine. Are you familiar with the Constantine character?
I am not familiar with the Constantine
John
character.
Constantine is...
I only know Keanu Reeves Constantine.
You know what? Well, I'm not exactly the biggest Keanu Reeves fan, let's be honest here. I know it's not a really good opinion right now, but I actually really enjoyed that movie. That was a really good movie. So Constantine's getting a new comic book from Black Label, which we talked about earlier with the Superman Year One you were talking about. And the really cool thing about it, besides just being a new Constantine comic, it's set in the Sandman universe.
All right.
Which, you guys familiar with Sandman universe? Neil Gaiman's Sandman. He's had a bunch of new comics, he's not himself writing it, but he's kind of overseeing and based on his world. And it's going to be set in that universe. I'm a big John Constantine fan. I love Hellraiser and all that stuff.
So are all the Black Labels connected?
Not Black Labels, no.
Okay.
Not as far as I know, actually. Fact check me, internet. But no, that's not as far as I know. But the Constantine will be part of the Sandman universe. So that's pretty cool.
All right.
For the next thing we're going to talk about is this big news that has hit, I believe, either today or yesterday. It's really fresh on the internet right now. Did you know that Sony's trying to pull Spider-Man out of the MCU?
About time. He's a menace.
Okay, JJ. No, this is crazy. Apparently, they were in negotiations, and there's a lot of money issues happening where, Marvel wanted 50-50, and Sony wanted to give them 5%, and then Marvel was like, no, we have Kevin Feige, he makes money, and Sony's like, yeah, but we made Into the Spider-Verse, we want all the money. And apparently, today, they announced that Sony was going to be breaking the deal off, taking Kevin Feige, the producer of all of MCU, and basically going on their own thing, which is crazy because... with this last Homecoming, they made all the money. With this last Far From Home, it made all the money. Far From Home made all the money. It was an absolutely fantastic Spider-Man movie. And for Sony now just to pull that from us, that's like, they built this next phase on the back of Tony Stark leaving Peter Parker behind the legacy. So that's a pretty big blow to Marvel if they don't end up being able to make this negotiation work. Now there's nothing final yet. Negotiations will still be had. But as of today, Sony said that they were going to pull the plug.
What's your opinion? Do you think they're going to stick with their guns, or are they?
You know what?
Holding out for cash?
So past my pay grade. So I really don't know. I hope they figure it out because without Tom Holland Spider-Man, it's going to be rough. The MCU is going to have a lot of pain. And obviously, I have all faith in Kevin Feige. He can figure it out. He's going to have all my money from now until I die. But I really hope they can figure out how to keep Tom Holland Spider-Man in. But Sony, and on top of that, Sony actually has a bunch of other movies lined up on their own. They have Venom 2 coming out, which is being directed by Andy Serkis. because he does a lot of the mocapture and stuff like that. Mocap? Yeah, please mocap.
Yeah.
Motion capture, mocap. He has a lot of that experience. He's actually directing the next Venom, and Venom while not domestically made a lot, internationally made a lot of money, and people really like that. I have my own opinions. We'll not get into that. But they also have Kraven the Hunter lined up for a movie they're going to do.
They're going to do a Kraven the Hunter movie?
They are. Sony's going to be doing a Kraven the Hunter movie. And they have a bunch of other spin-off Spider-Man movies they were going to do on their own, not part of the MCU. So it's not like they're not making money off Spider-Man.
That sounds terrible. Kraven the Hunter movie?
Well, we'll keep you updated on how this goes.
With Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Kraven the Hunter?
Pat, bring us more news.
I'm going to bring you news right now because I am the only one who can actually answer who watches Watchmen, and that's going to be me when it comes out this October. I'm very excited about the new Watchmen series coming out. I hear it takes place after the comic, and I'm a big Watchmen fan, and I enjoyed they did the spin-offs for the DC Comics, and they did the prequels.
The prequels, yeah.
And it has
before Watchmen.
Before the Watchmen.
Yeah.
And one of the few things I'm ecstatic about is they have Jeremy Irons as Ozymandias, and I love Jeremy Irons because he brings an intensity to every role he has. You're not so thrilled about this.
I'm really not. I watched the trailer, and I'm not even say I'm on the fence. I'm like on the other. I'm like just kind of hanging out over here. I'll wait everyone else watch it. I'll let everyone else watch it, and then maybe I might poke at it. I don't know. I feel like The Watchmen was such a good enclosed story that I don't feel like I needed it anymore. I feel like that was all I needed was the Watchmen story.
I think one of the things that The Watchmen brings back is like this old golden age era type of crime fighting. They have these guys that are masks. Everything's kind of classic. There's no one that's really overpowered besides Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
But everyone else is just fighting a guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I kind of miss. I miss the...
And I see that. And like I said, I love Watchmen. Like, The Watchmen's great. The book, Alan Moore's book is absolutely great. I just don't know if I want extended on that. I just feel like the story was just so good. Do we really need to keep talking about it?
Well, they're going to keep talking about it.
Yeah. I can't do anything about it. You're right.
They made it into the DC universe.
Yeah.
They have an entire series about it. They have the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Alan Moore hates it, but you know what? I love it.
Yeah. Well, you already said some bad things about Alan Moore earlier.
Yeah.
He hates Alan Moore.
I do. I want you to know that, Alan Moore.
Unpopular opinion.
I do hate you.
All right. What else you got for us?
I'm glad. Speaking of The Watchmen, you know what my favorite Easter egg about The Watchmen is?
What's that?
In the comic, the comedian stops Batman's parents from being murdered.
You know, I've heard about that. I don't actually know. Back and actually looked at that to go see the accuracy on that.
Yeah,
I've heard that before.
That's one of my favorite little things. That's the reason why you don't have the Batman in the universe. And now, time for the segue. I'm talking about Batman. I'm talking about the Batman. And the big news on the Batman front right now is that Robert Pattinson has been confirmed and casted, and there've been a lot of speculations about what the next plot is going to be.
So, let me stop you really quick. What is your feelings on Robert Pattinson?
As a human being or as an actor?
Well, you know what? Let's just go with actor for now. We can have another podcast. We just talk about him as a human being.
As an actor, honestly, the one thing that I'm going to be judging him is the next movie, The Lighthouse. He's working with William Dafoe.
Okay.
I love William Dafoe.
I love William Dafoe too.
William Dafoe is a paprika of actors. If you throw him into anything, it bangs up the flavor. And if he does a good job there, I will feel comforted. Okay. But if it's a big stinker,
I'm completely willing to give him a chance because first of all, I actually like Batfleck. Once again, unpopular opinion. I like Batfleck. I think he did a great job. Batman vs Superman, awful movie. So the Batman.
It's gonna be directed by Matt Reeves, and he trashed the Ben Affleck script.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he just got it. He just threw it away.
This kind of sucks.
You know what? It's a bold move.
It is a bold move.
It's a power move. I appreciate that. But the kind of rumor right now is there's going to be 6 villains.
6 villains.
Yeah, so superhero movies with multiple.
No, seriously though, I feel like sometimes those ambitious things like 6 villains, really cool idea. Execution though, whenever you ever seen something like that actually execute well?
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Like the entire Spider-Man the second,
Amazing.
the Amazing Spider-Man,
no,
was
that's a really
just
example of bad.
terrible.
Bad.
But one thing that I really like what he's talking about is he's going to be using more of a. Oftentimes in Batman movies, Batman happens. When you're watching a Batman movie, you're really watching a Joker movie or a Two-Face movie or anyone else. You're learning everyone else's story. Everyone knows who Batman is. This one is what he's been saying is going to really take the time to kind of show you who Bruce Wayne is. And he's going to be focusing on more of a detective role. So I would like to see him go to see these villains, not necessarily as main characters, but, like shake down the Penguin or something.
Okay. And I am all about bringing Batman as a detective because he is the world's greatest detective, and we rarely get to see that in movies. Ever. So I'm all about bringing a very hardcore detective story for Batman. That's a really good idea.
You know what I think would be a really cool move? Black and white.
Black and white? Go noir?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Black and white Batman.
So this brings us to our last segment of the show. Fan theories. So in the future, we want you guys to give us things to talk about, like what you want to theorize on. But since, it's our first episode, we didn't have anyone to talk about. We had our own fan theory to go for, and we're going to do some fan casting. And we decided to cast all the Robins, who we want to see on the big screen as Robin.
I think it's fantastic.
That's too many puns. One too many puns.
I'm giving you gold here, John.
All right.
I'm giving you gold.
All right, so we're going with Damian first, because he is the youngest and the newest Robin. So my pick for Damian was Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard. From Stranger Things?
Yeah.
It's like you only knew one little boy actor.
I only knew one child actor in the male that I thought did a good job. All right, he's a good actor, but you can tell you yours.
I'm going to tell you mine, but I don't know mine's name, so I'm going to make you research it right now. I love number 5 from
Umbrella Academy?
the Umbrella Academy. There we go.
No, that's much better pick. Way better pick.
Yeah, he's already playing Damian, and I feel he could fight me.
No, I think number 5, whose name that we should know, and it'll be down here, will be a good pick for Damian. Okay, so next one up, we have Tim Drake. Who's your Tim Drake?
My Tim Drake is the only other actor. I think it's a stretch, but I like it as more of a kind of a comedic role of all the Robins. McLovin.
McLovin?
McLovin.
Once again, you don't remember his real name?
We don't know his real name at all.
Yeah, so Pat here apparently doesn't know any actors' names and did zero research of names before this, so that's great.
I thought you were writing it down for the both of us.
No, I was not.
All right.
My choice is Matthew Lewis, which, if you don't know who that is by name, I know you don't, is Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter. I think he would be a really good Tim Drake because, have you seen pictures of him recently? He's
handsome.
He's still got like a dopey face though. He's still got a really dopey face. And I think that while he's fit, I think he can bring that nice little because Tim is more of the innocent one of all.
He's more intellectual.
Yeah, he's definitely the smartest one for sure. And I feel like he would be a really good Tim Drake because he can bring that more less hardened Robin.
Okay.
So for our next one, Jason Todd. I'm going to go with Thomas Doherty. Now, you probably don't know who that is, and I'm kind of ashamed that I know who that is. But if you're a Descendants fan, he plays Harry, the son of Hook, in both Descendants 2 and 3. But he just looks like Jason Todd. He just absolutely looks like him. And he's young enough to do the role, and I assume he's a good actor. I mean, he's in a Disney original movie, so I assume he has to be somewhat of a good actor. Those movies are kind of cheesy, so it's kind of hard to tell. But he really just looks like Jason Todd. I'm
going to go for an older Jason Todd. Okay. I think the Robins should kind of age up as they should be. Okay. And I like the idea of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And once again, he has that anger. He's a good actor. He has a passion about him. He's already played a Robin. And he has one of those faces that you can really get into.
That's true. With a nice crowbar, if you will.
Crowbar it in.
I want you to know how proud I am that you knew his name as the actor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've always known. Jason Gordon-Levitt. Jason Gordon-Levitt.
It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I've been calling Jason Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I want to retake on mine.
You want to retake
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Last but not least, Dick Grayson, the original Robin. Who's your pick?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. I am so disagreeing with you, but go ahead.
That's okay. You've been wrong a lot. Adam Driver. You know why?
Why?
Marine.
Yes.
He has the body for it.
Sure.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And he can do serious.
Yeah, but Dick Grayson's a pretty boy.
Yeah.
Adam Driver is not a pretty boy.
I really like the idea that him constantly reflecting upon how pretty he used to be. I like the idea that he is.
So you want us to believe that Adam Driver was once attractive?
He was once attractive,
I don't know if I
and
can
he
find
got that beaten out of him by being Nightwing. Because
that's a lot of belief you're putting me in right now.
are you telling me that you won't believe that he got his nose broken so many times that it looks like that?
Just all right, it's your pick. I'm not gonna tell you
It's a
no. I'm
solid
just gonna tell you you're wrong. I'm not gonna tell you no.
It's okay, because I'm not.
All right. So for my pick, Colin O'Donoghue, which once again you probably don't know who that is.
I have no idea.
All right. So to my Once Upon a Time fans out there,
A lot of Disney picks.
yeah, it's really what my life is right now. We'll talk about that later. He plays Hook on Once Upon a Time, and he once again looks like Dick Grayson to me. He really does. He has that pretty boy confidence, sly kind of like whole thing going on, and he's a great actor too. And I feel like he's also the right age for Dick Grayson to do a good Dick Grayson story. Because we're not doing a teenage Dick Grayson story. No one wants that.
Yeah.
Because you're doing Nightwing, you're doing older Dick Grayson, you're doing weather Dick Grayson. I think Colin O'Donoghue would be a great older Dick Grayson.
Do you think he could beat up Adam Driver?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with Marine training?
Only on film though, not really.
No, I'm talking about real life.
No, I'm just not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you look at those two, you're like, oh yeah. No, you're right. Adam Driver probably could. But we're not doing celebrity deathmatch here. We're doing casting.
I feel that would be a part of the casting.
You
kind of like a Hunger Games
celebrity deathmatch for the casting.
Well, for the Robins at least.
All right.
You have to have at least a little bit of cutting.
So that's been fan theories, and we want you to tell us who you think we cast as all the Robins down in the comments, and what you think we should fan theory for the next episode. Well, anyways, I've been John, and this is
Patrick, and I love you.
and this has been yesterday,
Today.
and tomorrow. Have a great week.